Hi ladies, if you didn't manage to make it to Little Black Dress this morning, I thought it might be helpful for you if I just recapped on what we talked about. So as you can see, maybe not just so much at the minute because it has clouded over, but it has been noticeably warmer and sunnier over the last little while. So because of that, I want you to do a couple of things for me. It's really important to remember about sun safety. May is Skin Cancer Awareness Month, and therefore I'm urging you to make sure that you apply your sunscreen regularly, but also, like a lot of the other ladies in the group this morning, take care and take notice of any lumps or bumps on your body. If you have moles or freckles or anything that's slightly larger than normal, then just keep an eye on it, but also make sure, if these are things that you've had all your life, the best thing you can do is put a good high level sun protection on top of them or a sunblock. So what we talked about this morning was the sun's rays. We did a little bit of myth busting and we just talked about how we prepare ourselves for going outside on a daily basis. So the sun has UVA rays and it has UVB rays. And it is the UVA rays that cause the sunburn and the UVB that cause your skin to age. Then the heat from the sun is caused by infrared. So the heat does not cause us to burn. That is a really important fact. It is the UVA. So that's why whenever anybody goes skiing or anything, or they're up at a high altitude, or they're somewhere cold but really sunny, they have to make sure that they apply their sun lotion or some sort of SPF, because that is what is going to protect your skin. The same way as if you're up a mountain with snow all around you, you would still get sunburn because it's those UVA rays that are doing the damage. So bear that in mind. We're coming into summer season. The reason why May is Skin Cancer Awareness Month is because the weather is changing. We're usually looking forward to summer holidays and getting away. Obviously that's not the case just at the minute. And also summer fashion is coming into the stores. And with summer fashion, that means short sleeves, spaghetti straps, boob tubes, whatever you want to wear, that's what's available. And therefore that means that a lot more of your skin is on show. So when you have more skin on show, that also gives you an opportunity to burn if you don't have any sun lotion or SPF based creams on your skin. So anybody can get burnt. It's not just one person, and it doesn't matter if you are slightly older and you've been used to the sun all your life. We can still do damage to our skin. So we need to protect our skin from burning. By protecting your skin from burning, are you stopping your skin from tanning? Absolutely not. Your skin will still tan because the melanin in your skin is changing because it is reacting to the sun's light hitting on your skin. Just by using an SPF means that you are actually protecting your skin from burning but allowing it just to tan. So that is a complete old wives' tale if you think that going out without anything on is doing you good. You may look good with a tan, but it could take a long time to get to that tan. There could be a lot of sunburn, peeling skin and everything that goes with it. And for me, it is definitely the discomfort of sunburn, which is a major turn off. So make sure that you're protecting yourself whenever you go out. Our sun is probably, the rays that we're getting at the minute aren't really strong, but I would recommend just keeping a good bottle of a factor 20 to 30 around the house and using that. One of the other things we talked about was the month and date on the back of your bottle. You will find that whenever you buy a new bottle of anything, whether it's foundation or moisturizer or shampoo, there will be a little number at the bottom of it and it will usually say 12M, 18M, 24M. So you ever wonder what that's about? Then that is telling you the life of that bottle. So if you opened that bottle of sun lotion 2 years ago and it says 18M on it, that means that it was only going to last for 18 months. So if you're still using it, it's not going to do you any good. And if it does do you any good, it's going to be nowhere near what it would be like if it was new. So bear that in mind as well. That's another tip for you, just to keep an eye on those numbers. And that goes for any of your products, whether it's makeup, foundation, eye products, anything like that. They will all have that little number on it. So if you've had some lipsticks that have been knocking around in your makeup bag for a long time, have a wee check. They may well be out of date. And the reason for that is bacteria and all sorts of nasty stuff can accumulate in them. And then you're literally taking it and putting it on your lips or putting it on your face or around your eyes or whatever. That's exactly why people would get some issues with their mascara and their eye problems, because you need to change your mascara frequently. It's actually a really short date on the back of a mascara. Some of them can be 3 or 6 months. And if you think you've been using a mascara for months and months and months on end, and all the bacteria that's on that little brush and you're putting it around your eye, that could be a reason why you get some of those eye irritations and infections that you do. That's just a little hint and tip on the side. So all I'm saying is, whenever you go out, make sure that you're using some sort of sun lotion or a moisturiser. They are actually pretty readily available now. They didn't used to be. You couldn't just get a nice light moisturiser with an SPF in it, but now you can. We talked about the Body Shop this morning, had some great creams on offer, such as their vitamin C range, which is to sort of improve the look of dull skin, but it had an SPF of 30 in it, so you can lather that on when you get out of the shower and you know that your skin's protected, because you don't want your skin to age either. It's not just about getting sunburn. We don't want our skin to age. We don't want our skin to look old before it's time. We want to look as fresh as we possibly can. We invest so much into how we look that, you know, we could be literally on doing all that work just by going out without an SPF. So please make sure that you're putting something on. Have a look. A lot of foundations now you can buy that have an SPF in them as well. I know the one that I use is an SPF of 25, some are 10, some are quite high. Doesn't necessarily mean that because you're wearing like a full coverage foundation that it has a high SPF, so just check that one out. I always like to put my foundation on anyway, or even a BB cream, something that will just keep my skin protected whenever I'm outside. And I talked about earlier on about how sometimes whenever I'm out in a boat, you can get a terrible wind burn and your face is bright red by the end of the day. But I always make sure that I have something on, because I've seen people who are a lot older than me that have spent a lot of time out on the water and they have not aged well because they just haven't taken care. So little simple things that we can do just to keep ourselves looking good, because when we look good, then we feel better about ourselves. So that is pretty much what I wanted to share with you and what we were talking about in our group today. Shauna also talked about the importance of vitamin D, and although we get it from the sun and our body will create it, it's always a good idea just for bone density and to keep ourselves in tip-top form, to take a little supplement. So you can pick that up in tablet form, or we were talking about some drops that are available in some local chemists. Definitely something to check out. I know the PHA are definitely pushing that at the minute, just to say, you know, you really should try and take a supplement of this. It will actually help protect you and help your body fight off infection as well. So it's very appropriate at the minute. So that is what we talked about today. We talked about sunburn. We talked about how we can still tan, but we need to protect our skin. And we talked about just taking care of any of those little lumps or bumps that we have, being mindful of them, and just monitor them on a regular basis, the same as you would do your normal checks, because we just want to make sure that you know that you are taking care and how to take care of yourself, and you have an awareness of any of those things that are slightly raised, and that if they do change, then you know that you need to go to your doctor about that and things like that. Do not put off. Just ring them up, and if you feel it's an emergency, then that's an emergency appointment and you ask for that. Don't just say, well, it'll maybe go away, because it might not, and we always hope that it does. And bear in mind, a lot of skin cancers that we can get over the years aren't always going to be terrible, but there are some that are. And I think it is much safer and much better to protect yourself on a regular daily basis whenever you go outside than having to deal with trying to battle some form of cancer. And I'm sure many of you will agree with that. So please take care, enjoy the sunshine. You don't always have to cover up. Make sure you have a good lotion, make sure it's in date. Buy a nice hat. There's always an excuse to have a nice hat. And take care of yourself whenever you're out. Try to avoid that really hot sun in the middle of the day. It can make you feel awful as well. You know, whenever you've been out all day in the sun, it feels great at the time. Later on, when you're dehydrated and you get that terrible headache that we all get from being out for too long, just make sure that you stay hydrated and stay out of that hot sun. So I hope this is useful for anybody who wasn't able to get into our Zoom class. Please do let us know if these classes would be much better if we ran them at different times, or if they would be more suitable on a different day, because we want as many of you to join us as possible. The classes, as we talked about earlier on, are probably not realistically going to be back even by September. And I know that that is not a very nice thought, because we all want to get back to normal. But there's just no possible way for us to social distance in any of the locations where we run our classes. If you take into consideration that we have 30 people on an average basis that attend our Little Black Dress, with 2 meters between each person, we couldn't even do that in the big hall in Kilcully Community Centre. So we are working on this, but we do need everybody. If you want to be part of the Zooms, just ask for help. There's people who are able to get on here now, and we can guide you through, and it's not that scary. It's just a couple of clicks of a mouse and maybe downloading some software, and you can come and join us. And we don't always talk about serious things. You know, we always spend about 15 or 20 minutes just having a catch up. It's good to talk to other people. And then what we do is we get into our class, and then we just wish each other well, and we go on with our day. So we never let it go on for too long either. So that's the last thing we want, is for this class that just goes on and on and on. It'll be an hour out of your day, absolute max. But we hope that it's beneficial to you, and we hope that it tries to give some structure to your week. So thanks for listening to me, and I really hope next week we can see more of you in the class. Bye.